How you doing?
Got some questions for you. Okay. We'll start off with Gabe Bach from TexAgs.com.
What's happening, Nice?
How you doing, Gabe?
Doing well, man. Hey, what's been the key ingredient for your rise here since you changed the position to running back, but in particular in camp? By all accounts, you've been one of the very best football players on the entire roster in camp. What has really been the key to that, Ainias?
Well, first off, I want to thank you. I appreciate the compliment. But for me, basically, it's just making sure that I'm going full speed every rep and making sure that I'm holding my teammates accountable to going full speed every single rep. So if we have a great scout team, Coach Fisher always talks about a scout team. If we have a great scout team, then we're going to have a great team just because of the way that we're going to practice. So I believe that's the key ingredient, just making sure that we go full speed every rep.
Next question is from Zach Taylor from Brian Broadcasting.
Hey, Ainias. With Jamon having decided to opt out this year and one less receiver out there, have you approached Coach Fisher at all about maybe wanting more reps out wide, or is it a situation in which you're going to stay doing what you were doing in the backfield?
I believe Coach Fisher has a plan. Right now, he's still deciding on whether or not the best position is to keep me at running back or to motion me out wide. It all depends on the game plan, the defense. So that's something for you to ask him, I guess.
He said that you were staying at running back. I just didn't know if maybe it might be more opportunities for you at wide receiver now.
Oh, well, shoot. I mean, if I was to ever go out at receiver, I feel like I have a great time. I love receiving.
All right, let's move on to Tyler Shaw from KBTX and then Darrell Bruffett.
Kind of going off that, Ainias, even if you were to just stay at running back, how important, I guess, is your versatility to this offense? I mean, being able to catch the ball and do so many different things, and with such a deep backfield, I mean, how important is that versatility for you guys to be successful?
I believe that is very important. I feel like if you're not able to have enough athletes on the field, and with this offense, we have numbers of athletes that can get the ball in their hands and do something with it. So I feel like with me just adding on to that, it's a number of options that we can do, not only in the run game, but in the pass game, the option, everything. We have every opportunity to score with all the athletes that we have.
Which of these young guys has impressed you the most?
I really like Darvon Hubbard, really the entire running back room. Darvon Hubbard, DeAndre Jackson, Vaughn A-Chain. The receiver room, I really like Moose Muhammad. Moose has really been stepping up. I ain't gonna lie, I'm like the entire freshman class. I told basically everybody in the freshman class that they all have unique talents and gifts that they can all bring in and help our team win. So I believe that everybody in that freshman class has a great opportunity to make this team great.
Thank you.
Next question is from Darrell Bruffett at KBTX.
Ainias, I know you probably watched some games over the weekend and over the past couple of weekends. I know you've seen that, things are not the way they used to be on a normal Saturday in college football. Have you guys kind of thought about that, talked about it some as to, you guys are going to have to make your own energy like you would on the road?
Oh, no, yeah, we for sure definitely have talked about it. I'm actually planning on bringing the energy off rip. As soon as I score, I got a little celebration. So I got to turn the entire offense up, the defense, all three phases. We just got to have fun with ourselves, playing with each other, and not have the crowd be a factor of why we won't play so well. So we have to just limit the distractions and be focused and locked in on our responsibilities.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, the last question on the queue is Travis Brown from the Bryan College Station Eagle.
Hey, Nice, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Travis?
Doing well. Hey, just not any individual player who has decided to opt out, but generally, what is that kind of like in the locker room? Do you hear rumblings of a guy talking about this? Do these guys usually kind of sit down and talk to the team? Generally speaking, when one of these players has decided to opt out, what does that kind of process look like in the locker room?
That's kind of hard to say because some people, they have things that don't necessarily pertain to football of the reasoning why they're opting out. So a lot of that can happen outside of the locker room. It can happen at home. Some things we may not know. And recently with Anthony Hines opting out, I was honestly shocked and surprised, especially with a week left of the game. But it is what it is. I have high, I guess you could say expectations for him. I know he's going to do great things outside of football this year. So right now we just have to next man up. Whoever's next just got to come and step up. And we have a lot of guys that can do that. So
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. We got a couple of late ads, and so we'll go Gabe Bach and then Kirk Bowles.
Yeah, nice. It just seems in these conversations with you that you just are so passionate about the game of football. What is it about the sport that makes you love it so much?
Well, recently I've actually been talking to a few of my roommates, and the game of football now is actually changed, and I'm pretty sure everybody can see that. And the way the world is going on right now is not able to be the same as what it was in the past. When Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and them was all in Miami, I felt like that was the greatest football time period ever, just because it was the game of football that everybody loved. So for me, every time I think about football, I always think of my Little League football team and me playing with the Missouri City Raiders. That's where it all started. And that's really why I really like the game of football so much, just because it's an escape route for me, not to get away from violence or all of that, but just to get my mind on something that everybody else is working toward. So basically my team, I know we're all working on one goal, and I believe this is the greatest team sport that can ever be invented. And with all of us working towards the same goal, you can see all of the benefits through everybody, and I'm just glad to see it. So that's why I love it so much, just so I can build that brotherhood and be able to say that I have somebody next to me that's going to work as hard as me, if not harder, to get to the same goal.
All right, and we'll wrap it up with Kirk Bowles from the Austin American-Statesman. Make it a good one, Kirk.
Can you describe this celebration you got planned? I'm curious how wild it's going to be, so we can be prepared.
I guess you can say it just go a little something like this. And that's it. You're going to see, though. It's going to be live.
Yeah. And who would you compare your style to if we were, comparing you to another running back in college or pros, Ainias?
I definitely have to say DeAnthony Thomas. I've been watching his highlights. I used to always watch his highlights as a kid. And looking at myself now, I'm in the same predicament. Both of us, we weren't the biggest. Now, he may be a little faster than me, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm pretty quick. But, I can get open in open field, whether I'm at receiver or at running back. And he had the natural ability to do both. So that's what I compare my game to.
Thanks, Ainias.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, that's all the questions that we have for you.
Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Ainias.
Good job, bud.